Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome. Okay, so just jumping in with a fast one here, and no warning. I mean, I've had warnings for the last 3 days on the cell phone, and there's wildfires everywhere. I've got the map up behind me, and I'm going to do a screen share so you can see the whole thing. Uh, I apologize for the little. I'm wearing green. I know I shouldn't be. I'm actually dressed to be working outside right now. Um, Hang on, I'll head over to YouTube, kill the sound. There it is, dead. Susie D, how you doing? Hello. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in chat, folks. I will check it from time to time, but the focus is going to be what we're talking about. So here, I'll just do a screen share right now, and we'll get on with this. And again, this is all just popping up. Okay. There we go. So again, over the last couple of days, 3 days actually, there has been emergency alerts coming through on the phone. The first one that came through was about 20 kilometers away from me, but when I saw the area they were giving and the range roads and all that, there's a farmer that I know, a friend, that's exactly where he lives. So I got a hold of him and, hey, what's going on? He's like, well, the RCMP was just here and we're okay. The fire is north of us. So the winds were out of the southeast, switching sometimes from the southwest. And then a lot of times they were coming right from the east. And we were watching this in the yard here where the winds were coming from, what they were doing. And so the fire was moving away from his place, but literally it started within like not even half a mile of him, like less than that. Okay. No indication, no lightning strikes, nothing like that. Okay. Nobody out, cutting hay or doing anything that anybody could see that, hey, that could be a bad thing. Because again, when it's this dry, farmers don't cut hay or do things like this because you could hit a rock and it happened before. Okay, you could hit a rock and with your blade start a fire like a spark and boom, off it goes. Okay, it's happened before. Combine fires, baler fires, because again, there's lots of balers catch fire every year in dry conditions. But none of that was going on that anybody could find. Now we're waiting to hear. And again, I'm just kind of looking into it now because I just haven't been, other than paying attention to where these fires are and what's going on around us. I haven't been digging into it, but today I am, and it's all going to be in front of you because I haven't been doing anything. So here they are. This is the wildfire map of Alberta. And yeah, it's not going to let me move it around, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, this is crazy. And I'm going to show you where some of these are. Major, like big towns are being evacuated. In fact, if I was still in Evansburg, where I was before I moved here, we'd be evacuating right now. Okay, so we'll pull this up and show you what's going on. So ironically, another neighbor, another farmer we know, phoned and said, "Hey, that's so and so's place." I'm like, "Yeah." I just talked to him, and he doesn't have to evacuate. We're keeping an eye on things. Go from there. The next morning, that same farmer came over because they have land right across the road from me. That's how I know them. And where they live is actually 20 kilometers in each direction away from me. And well, the one guy's less than that, but still, it's anyways. So he was over checking his place because he's going to be bringing his cattle over. So he was, making sure that the water was going to work and blah blah blah. So I I was over chatting with him and we were talking. Ironically, literally that same day, that evening, just before supper, I get another emergency alert on the phone, and it's over by him. And literally, just like the first time, when it gave the range roads, it's his place. Like literally. So we're going to go to this one. And I'm just showing you what's going on. So this is the latest one. And this is the one I got this morning. And this is a different one again. Okay. So now within 40 kilometers of me, there's 4 fires. Hello, folks. Okay, so here it is. So this alert is in effect for Brazeau County and Drayton Valley. Drayton Valley is 45 kilometers away from me to the northwest. So there's an out-of-control wildfire southeast of Drayton Valley, which means that's where the winds are going from. Okay, they're taking it that way. So all residents in the area of Township Road 484 north to Township Road 494 and North Saskatchewan River west of Range Road 80 must evacuate immediately. This includes the entire town of Drayton Valley. Evacuate via Highway 22 north to Highway 624. Follow 624 to Tomahawk. Follow 624 east towards Stony Plain. Evacuees are to evacuate to Edmonton and register at the Expo Center. Okay, that's 130 kilometers. They're taking people from Drayton Valley, which is about 7,000 people. Is that it here? Okay. I got a bunch of other stories here. So, yeah, I'll pull this one up and show you. I'm going to, right now, here's the map. So here's Drayton Valley, okay? And here's my place. So that same fire that I told you about first, where it's my neighbor, the second one, has now spread, and they're showing this area here is the evacuation area. Okay. We just missed it by like chinny chin chin. Honestly. We just missed this evacuation order. Like literally, we're right on the edge of it. Literally. Okay. Actually, now that I look at it, this is where the neighbor, roughly, it's not pulling up the range roads. I'm just looking at, okay, yeah, this is roughly the area down here where the neighbor is. So, wow, we just missed it literally by like a very, very short thing. So anyways, there's Drayton Valley. That's 7,000 people. Okay. There's Edmonton. Okay. Here's Drayton Valley. There's Edmonton. That's 130 kilometers. Now let's pay attention to this. Okay. And I am going to bring this in right now. And this is Global News Edmonton. And so fair use, here we go. And folks, I'm not watching the chat. Oh, fuck's sakes. Why? I don't know. The sound is always shut off when these things start. Stupid. Anyway. Okay, Carrie, my husband is fighting fire with Alberta Forestry. Drayton Valley was evacuated at 3:50 this morning. Hey, Carrie, you're in Alberta too. I know you're a ways away from me, but prayers for you and your folks. Because and in chat, can you let people know? Because looking at that map, there's stuff not far from either one of us. So let's keep an eye on all this, right? Also, by the way, maybe you've got friends in the area. But if he needs a respite, if he's up there doing that and fighting fire, and you get a hold of me, you know how to get a hold of me, and I'll send me an email. And again, if if he needs to come and get a shower and a meal, let us know. Okay. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, that's the one. That's a big fire now. This is a big evacuation order. This is 4 fires. Okay, there's 4 emergency alerts in this area. On my phone, I've received 4 different areas, and there's 4 fires around me, and I've just missed me by chinny chin chin. I'm serious. So let's go here. So Lac St. Anne County, yeah, I'm going to do that one next because that's a different one again. Okay. So everyone in Lac St. Anne County, west of Highway 43, Range Road 60, west of Highway 757, Brock Lake to South Township Road 464, must evacuate. Go to Marathorpe Diamond Center. Yeah, we'll check it out. I think that's still 100 kilometers. Okay, so let's look here. So Highway 43, there's actual Lac St. Anne. Okay, so the one buddy of mine that I thought it was is not him, but this is up here. Okay, I don't see. I'd have to check. I don't think. Now that might be. There's Sangudo. So the winds are coming from the southeast. They're going this way. So the town of Sangudo may soon be in the evacuation order. And Rochefort Bridge, there's Marathorpe. So that's still not quite 100 kilometers that they're sending these people. So just a sec here. I'm just checking something. Okay. So there's that one. Okay. So now that's basically close to the same one. Lac St. Anne, Athabasca County. Now I know this one. I read this one already there. It's not Athabasca County, but they are sending people to Athabasca from this fire. So let's check the map. So here's the town of Athabasca. So yeah, it's up in here. Okay, here's the other thing, folks. This is all these areas that are on fire. A lot of this is farms. It's farming areas. And there's a lot of cattle farms. There are a lot of cattle farmers that are in big trouble here. And moving your herds and all that. Moving a herd is not an easy thing, okay? And then where do you take them? So that situation is happening with this too, okay? That's how serious this is. I think this is engineered. Honestly, I do. Because they're just hitting too many of just the right areas. By the way, Drayton Valley just signed up to be a 15-minute city. We can go to that map too. Okay. Out of control, 484, 80. Okay, this is basically the same one. Okay. Brazos County, I'm guessing. Okay, what these are is, okay, they're just copies, like, because they keep putting the alert out. So every time you get a beep on your phone, one of these comes up on the site. Station at Rocky Mountain House, there's news fires in the province starting hourly. Yeah, we need rain so badly. Hopefully the Quebec firefighters should be here by Monday. Thank you. Again, folks, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to chat. I'm sorry. Article says only 10,000 people are affected. Well, okay. But that's 10,000 people, sure. But when you spread that out where these people are, you're covering, again, look at this map. Okay? Each one of these, right, is a massive area. So we're going to do that in a second. We're going to show you where this is, how big this is. So this one here is another one. So this one is, again, if I was still in Evansburg, I'd be out of there. This includes Evansburg, Wildwood, Lobstick, and Hansonville, and they're sending them to Edson. Okay, and look at how big this is. So here's the trick. Okay, this is because it's in a different county. Now, look at this one. Look at this map. Okay, right? It only lets me do so much. So look at this map. And look at that one. So here is Sylvan Lake. Okay. Here's Wabamun Lake, just so you have a reference point if you're not folks from Alberta, if you don't know the area. So what I'm showing you here. So here's Buck Lake right here. Okay. There's Drayton Valley. Here's Sylvan Lake, or no, not Sylvan Lake, sorry. Pigeon Lake. This is Wabamun Lake. And again, these are reference points. Okay. There's Drayton Valley. Look at the shape here. Okay. Now, look at the shape here. There we go. There's Buck Lake. There's Pigeon Lake. There's Wabamun. So these are two different emergency alerts, but hang on. Right here where my cursor is, all of this. So this is how big of an area of the province. So you want to see how many hectares? Let's go to Google Earth. I'll show you. Again, there's Drayton Valley. There's Pigeon Lake. There's Buck Lake. There's Lake Wabamun. Now, we're going to do the ruler. First, I'm going to use the circle, and I'm just going to put it roughly in the middle, just so you can get an idea, because we're going to be a little more. So that's 4,600 square miles. Okay. All right. So now we'll clear that. Yeah, I can use polygon. Okay, here we go. So I will, we'll do it this way. I'm going to have to go a little off memory. I'll just look at this again. Okay, there. Okay, let's draw this. Okay, so here. Roughly. I mean, this isn't perfect, but those three fires, those three alerts, the ones I just showed you, the one that's getting close to Sangudo. Now, there's an area in here that is not, we'll do this, just to be fair. Okay, that's closer. Okay, there's an area in here that isn't covered. And we're going to move this one this way to about, there. I mean, that's not perfect, but it's close enough. 4,700 square miles. So that is in kilometers, 12,000 square kilometers. Okay, now let's zoom in. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay. This is just this one area. Okay. There's the town of Breton. Again, this is not perfect because Breton's not in there. We're just showing you some area. Okay. Now, okay. There's a farm. There's a farm. There's a farm. By the way, these are all cattle farms. These areas I'm showing you, all this stuff, okay? There's one here, okay? This is all cattle farmers mostly. These fields, they're for baling. They don't really do grain crops here. This is all cattle farms, okay? Here we go again, okay? See what I'm saying? Farms. There's houses. And you can tell it's a farm because they've got all these outbuildings and barns, okay? And areas where they keep cattle. Okay, there's a long barn. There's a long barn. Okay, see what I'm saying? Right? So this area, now there's a lot of acreages just where people just live as well. There's a lot of oil field infrastructure. You can't, again, it's crazy how much oil field infrastructure is in here. But this is just one area of the province around me. And here's the thing. So right now they're evacuating people to Edson from this area over here from these fires and then up to Marathorpe. But the winds are moving that way. And that's all forest in there, folks. Okay, same over here. All right. Now, you dig in over here and look at this. It's all farms. Farms, 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 farms. Now, up in here, there is a lot of grain production. But there's a lot of cattle farms. They're talking about 10,000 people. Somebody, I think it was Awakened One, said in chat, they're talking like it affects 10,000 people. It probably affects a couple 100,000 cows. Okay? How many sheep, how many pigs, how many chickens? Google, oh shit. Google Earth not shared. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Fuck. I'm just a second. StreamYard has changed how they do things. So when I change my damned screen, it's no longer the screen. You have to share the window now. It's so stupid. There. Oh, okay. Sorry, folks. All right. They keep fucking with all this shit. Anyways, here's Edmonton. Here's Drayton Valley. Okay. This again is the 4 fires, roughly. Right? This is the 4 areas that are under evacuation order right now. And like I said, this is all cattle farms in here. You get up into over here, a little bit here, but more up into here, you get into some grain farms. Here's Entwistle and Evansburg. So if I was still there, I'd be gone. Entwistle got evacuated a week ago for one of the first fires. Now it's spread. Okay. Drayton Valley, 7,000 people, and they're taking them 130 kilometers to Edmonton. That's where they're evacuating them to. So Carrie said in chat that her husband is working down in Rocky Mountain House down here. So I haven't even looked at those. Let me see if I can make this work. Give me a second here. Let me change something. Frickin' StreamYard. Let me try this. Let's see if it works. I'm watching my other screen. Oh, it worked. Okay, thank God. So let's go here. There's your wildfire map. Okay, here's Calgary. Here's Edmonton. So yeah, look at this. So Rocky Mountain House is right about there. Okay. This is the Drayton Valley one here. This is up north of Edson. Okay, these are the fires around the Sangudo and that area, that other fire. So look at this. Look at this big portion. Again, this is major farms. This is major farming areas. Here's the Athabasca fires up here, high level. Okay, this one's over by Bonnieville. So yeah, I got it. I figured out the screen share. Thank you. Yeah, no, I got it figured out. I know. Sorry. It's like I said, I thought I was showing everything. We got it figured out. Okay. So I see a Lindsay Punt says, "Let me know what you're doing. We come up with a master plan, neighbor." Okay, I think I know who you are. Yes, they're again, Zilren. Yes, they're changing the storm fronts. It's crazy what's going on. It's crazy what is going on. Like I said, I think this is engineered. We're getting all kinds of we're getting all kinds. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We're handling stuff with neighbors here too. We're going to be organizing as neighbors for all this. I just talked to that same farmer, the second one that I was talking to that day, and then the alert came for his place that night. And I'm guessing now that he's in the evacuation order. Now, looking at the map, so he is in the evacuation order. But him and I were talking, and there are neighbors around here that have cultivators and discs and plows and stuff like that. Growing up on the farm, when we had fires like this, you went and plowed the field. That's how you fought the fire. Everybody and their dog went over to that farmer with their equipment, and you literally ran over the fire with the disc. Yeah, sorry about your crop. If you could. Now, if it's in the forest, you can't do that. But when it's in the fields, even in a tall grass field, that's what you would do. You would literally run it over and knock it in and knock that crop down so that there's nothing to burn, or to slow it right down. Oh, yeah, nerve-wracking, I know. So yes, it was the neighbor. Okay. So anyways, folks, we're planning for that. We're grouping up with neighbors and anybody that look. There's farmers around here that haven't used this stuff for 20 years. It's in their yard, and they've got a tractor. So if needed be, they can go get that disc and they can come to a field and knock it down. So we're working on that. And this is what, like I said, community. I've been bellowing this for how many years now? This is why I'm here in this location, all about community. This is what we're doing. And like I said, this is stupid. And look, there's fires down in the foothills and the Rockies now. Okay. There's fires over here, again, in farming areas. Now, the different, I guess the red is really dangerous, green, yellow, blue, yada, yada. It's still a fire. Okay. It's all farming up in here. It's all oil field up in here. And there's farming. They're coming after us. They're coming after us. And they're doing it this way. So sorry, folks. Let me hop into chat. I know it's been a long time. I appreciate you all being here. I can only go back so far into chat. Yes, James Richardson, we all have smart meters. Ours is on a power pole, and I've got it covered with a screen, and I've got a copper wire going around it, going down to a rod that goes into the ground. Best I can do. Yes, Harp has ionic heaters. Yes, it does. Okay, just... Actually got notified 15 minutes after the stream started. Yeah, that's normal. So again, we keep getting these alerts. And again, now I'm looking at this area. I'm looking where these fires are. And there's a lot of these that are not coming up as emergency alerts yet, because this is just the St. Albert Gazette showing the wildfire map. Okay. But I'm going to refresh this page. Let's do that. So, yep, 3:50 a.m. That's when Carrie said that the notice came through. Okay, that's the newest one. So, all by design, DK. That's what I'm telling you, folks. That's what I'm telling you. And again, I don't know how big these fires are. They are, luckily, like I said, they're going the other way from us. The winds have them going the other way. That doesn't mean that one won't spark up or that things might change. And like I said, right now we are, I'm going to be going around again today and talking to neighbors, and we're going to get this organized. And if we have to, if things change, dugouts and pumps and all that, I guarantee you right now, everybody that has a water truck, every water truck company has probably already gotten calls, and they're going to the fires. So if a new one starts, those trucks are already somewhere else. Luckily, a lot of farmers have their own water trucks. A lot of farmers have their own water tanks, this kind of thing. So, again, I mean, that's only going to help you in a certain situation. But if you can get to it when it starts, yeah, you can do things. The other thing that we're going to be doing here is starting to pay a lot more attention to what vehicles we see going up and down the roads. And yeah. Okay. So I am literally, folks, going to be getting up on my roof with the spotting scope and having a look around and seeing what I can see. We are going to be using this because if we smell smoke, I'm going to be watching. That's where we're at. This is, like I said, this is engineered. This is not normal. Nearly doubled the 5-year average. That's the story. It's more than that. I think it's more than double the 5-year average. And remember, last year, at least in our part of the province, and in 2016 and 2018, we were wetter than wet can be around here. Last spring was a cold, wet spring. There was way more snow. We didn't have anywhere near the runoff this year that we did last year. And also, May and half of June was rain like crazy. So we don't have that this year. So when they talk about their 5-year average, and you take 3 out of the last 5 years that were super, super wet in certain parts of the province, they're talking about the whole province, but I'm just looking at this local area where this is, where all these fires are. Okay. And how wet it was in what years. But that's not this year. I mean, same thing happened in 2016. There was the Fort McMurray fire, where a big portion of the town of Fort McMurray fire burned, and 80,000 people. It's the city of Fort McMurray. Okay. There's 88,000 people got evacuated. Here's what happened that year. So it was dry, popcorn fart dry, like now. Okay. And that fire went through. And by the way, if this is the city of Fort McMurray, and this is the west side, north side, okay, the fire started over here. The winds again were coming from the east. Somehow, the fire, which started on the west side, burnt a third of the city. And then somehow the fire went to the north of town and the south of town when the winds were out of the east. Ta-da! Then the biggest mosque in the world got built there after the fire. Yeah. Anyways, so they had the Fort McMurray wildfire. It was popcorn fart dry. There was fires all over the province. Then that summer, for 2 months, there was 39 days in a row where I lived that we had an inch of rain every day. And there was rain every day for 2 months. But there was 39 days in a row, there was an inch of rain every day. So after the fires, they flooded the hell out of everything. Now, floods are a big deal. After you look at California, okay, happens all the time. They have all these wildfires, and then they have rains, and they have mudslides and floods. And why is that? Now there's no trees and grass to suck up the water. So what does it do? It just goes. Got to go somewhere. Just goes. So if they do that again, right now, there's all these fires going. Okay. And if they bring the rains, which we need now, not next month, there's going to be flooding in areas where there wouldn't normally be flooding because there's nothing to suck up the water. And again, looking at Google Earth, make sure this works. Thank God. Okay. Folks, okay, you can see it. Here's the Rocky Mountains. Okay. Here's the foothills. This is all foothills. All this. Okay. This is all considered foothills up in here. This is all forest. Okay. This is all evergreen forest. All of this. Okay. A lot of this is as well. A lot of this is evergreen forest. And then poplar like we have here. Poplar's still going to burn, still fires. And again, we're surrounded by farmers that have grass because of the cattle. So in this area here, where all these alerts are that I'm talking, and I haven't even covered all these ones down here, because folks, let's do this, okay? This is roughly like what I showed you on the map, okay? Where the biggest fires are, where the most concentration of fires are, this is it, right in here. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. I don't know how many cows, but let's put it this way. They talked about 10,000 people, okay? So I know the one farmer has 140 cows. I know the guy just south of him has probably a couple hundred cows. The guy across the road probably has a couple hundred cows. That's within a mile. Let's call it 2 miles to be fair. And that's just 3 that I know of because I drive up to his place once in a while. Okay? And there are a lot of people that lease in here. There are a lot of people, a lot of farmers lease land in here from the government, and they run their cattle. So we're talking hundreds. This area here, farms, hundreds of thousands of cattle, minimum. I know a guy who has a goat farm. He's got 500 goats. He's only 14 kilometers away from me, but he's not in the area that that's being covered yet, right? The other thing is he moves his goats because his business is people hire him to put his goats at their place and eat all the weeds. It's a cool thing. Anyway, There's sheep farms, there's goat farms, there's, again, people have chickens and livestock, people have horses. I mean, if you've only got a couple of horses, you can put them in a horse trailer and take off if you're being evacuated. But if you've got 100 cows, even if you've got 30 cows, you're not just putting them on a trailer and getting them out of there if you're being evacuated. Okay? So it's a big deal. So, okay. So sorry, like I said, sorry for not being in the chat very much. Carrie, please do email me. I will talk to the other neighbors. Again, rageinthecage@protonmail.com. I'll get it. And I do have the website, rageinthecage.com. So I can take donations there. I've got merch. So if you want to help out that way, that would be greatly appreciated. I'm gonna have to keep going here on watching this and paying attention, seeing what the hell is going on, and go from there. So until we get some rains, and we're not in a flood problem here. One of the other reasons I chose this place when I was looking for places, most of it came down to the fact that this was the only place that was within the price range, but also no flooding here. I'm not really surrounded by a lot of forest. There's a lot here, but I've got a cushion. There's no farming with chemicals, but unfortunately, some of the farmers in the area do use Grazon and other sprays. So I just don't get stuff from those guys. But until we're going to get some rain, we have to be on top of what's going on around here. So that's it. So folks, I've got a busy day ahead of me. I really appreciate you all coming here. Please share this out, especially if you know people in areas, not just here, not just where I showed you, anywhere. Like I seen a comment, somebody was, DK was talking about rain in BC, well, flooding, right? But there's wildfires in BC too. So if the information provided, if any of the suggestions provided or anything like that can help anyone that is out in these areas where this stuff is going on, let's see what we can do for them. So there we go. Like I said, there's the map behind me. It's a pretty big deal. This is what we prepped for. It's not just end of the world shit. It's stuff that happens in your everyday life. Take it from a guy that's been in a house fire. So be vigilant. Get in touch with people that are around you that you can get to within half an hour or less, right? And again, if it's people in your area and you're dealing with something like this, and you know, like I said, there's a farmer with a water truck, or there's a farmer with an old plow or an old disc or whatever it may be, or even a guy that uses it now. If a fire starts in a field, there's a pretty good chance if you're on it quick, you can get it out. If a fire starts in a forest and it's going into a field, you can plow that field and stop the fire too. So it's all about getting it done, folks. There we go. All right. Sutters have a lot of farmland in Alberta. Yes, they do. Okay, kill it and grill it. Hey, folks. Okay, like I said, sorry for not paying attention to the chat. And I got to get going. So we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.